Cue aerial to roll in 3, 2, 1.
Take everything you think about recreational shark fishing and toss it over the side. Anglers in this research-driven sporting event compete against each other without boats. To earn points, they'll need to safely catch, measure, photograph, and research tag all qualifying sharks before releasing them back to the wild. Land-based shark fishing in the Blacktip Challenge? Ha ha! It's like nothing you've ever seen.
This is a project we got involved with after its founder and director, Josh Jorgensen, called to ask if we'd be interested in filming and producing it.
It was 8 crazy days of 24/7 shark fishing covering 70 miles of coastline and several dozen anglers.
It was intentionally planned to take advantage of the winter blacktip shark migration along Florida's east coast. As far as we're concerned, the more sharks, the better.
We made this unique by working with Josh and our friends at the National Marine Fisheries Service on a format that would require the complete documentation and tagging of all qualifying sharks.
It would be the first organized land-based shark fishing event to combine all these elements. For us as anglers, it's one of our favorite styles of fishing because it provides for a very up-close and personal interaction experience with these animals, which also allows us to take precise measurements that can be used to calculate a reliable estimated weight for these fish, further adding to the important scientific contribution of these anglers.
This is something we helped popularize nearly a decade ago, and we're happy to see it catching on over the years. Strangely enough, before that, a lot of anglers were underestimating the weight of their fish.
We worked very closely with them for over a week, sometimes too close. As a matter of fact, on Friday the 13th, I got to literally jump the shark.
Since this was something completely new, we geared up to shoot the action in a way that would also make the viewers feel like they were part of it.
This sport is special to us, and this was a great opportunity to spotlight some of our fellow anglers.
It was one heck of a week. We had some bad weather the first few days, but in the end, we captured a lot of action and tagged a lot of sharks, including a world record blacktip.
We look forward to sharing more of those stories. For now, enjoy this preview of the Blacktip Challenge.
Just as surely as autumn surrenders to winter, Florida's coastline attracts more than just sun and surf worshiping tourists. Every year, between November and April, just off the beaches in the chilled waters of the Atlantic Ocean, impressive numbers of blacktip sharks arrive here too. At times, forming migratory schools numbered in the hundreds. It's a perennial headline news story about hordes of invading sharks. But these fish are simply following an instinctive and ancient path of survival, ingrained through millions of years of perfected evolution. In 2009, a cooperative effort between recreational anglers and the marine research and conservation communities was set in motion to briefly intercept these animals in an attempt to learn more about them and ultimately to make valuable scientific contributions to their long-term sustainability. By leveraging a fishing tournament format to attract some of the angling world's best talent, along with the implementation of innovative guidelines for the safe capture, documentation, and release of migrating sharks, much could be learned through the combined goals of sport and science. For this Blacktip Challenge, conventional hook and line gear will be used to catch the sharks. But you can take what most might consider traditional fishing methods and toss those over the side. That's because blacktips, and many other shark species for that matter, can be found directly in the surf zone of many of the world's beaches. And that's exactly why these anglers will employ a specialized technique called land-based shark fishing. As the name indicates, no boats or long-range offshore rides to the middle of nowhere, typically associated with shark fishing, will be utilized in this endeavor. The technique, and ultimately the sport of land-based shark fishing, was born from the practical thinking of cash-strapped, big-game anglers in the early parts of the 20th century. By then, tales of high seas adventure and epic battles with sea monsters, touted by the likes of Zane Grey and Ernest Hemingway, popularized this new recreational activity that came to be known as deep-sea fishing. However, this pursuit also came with a price tag that not every angler could afford. But that didn't stop adventure-seeking sportsmen from figuring out ways to target, fight, and land large fish on a limited budget from the confines of the beach and other attached structures, such as jetties, piers, bridges, and even oil platforms. If deep-sea fishing was a bit unconventional in its early days, land-based shark fishing was, and still remains, among the world's most extreme angling quests. It's no small wonder, then, that the sport attracts a very unique breed of angler. Inspired by the sport's pioneers, these shark fishing specialists are an engaging fusion of hunter, adventurer, and outspoken steward of the marine environment who will typically tell you it's the ones who spend the most time enjoying what's out there who also do the most to protect and conserve what's out there. So the stage is set as several dozen hardcore big game anglers armed with their knowledge and experience, some trusted old tools of the trade, and a few new ones will square off in an all-out push to not only capture, but also measure, photograph, research tag, and release as many sharks as they can in 8 days off Florida's east coast. Sounds simple enough, but Mother Nature and Lady Luck have their own set of plans for those taking on this Blacktip Challenge.
The 2009 Blacktip Challenge was presented by these fine sponsors.
Welcome to the 2009 Blacktip Challenge. Let's hit the beaches and see who's fishing and who's catching.